Welcome back to our final round here on KD Quiz, brought to you by GBU Life. It is a round we call less, and some big points are up for grabs here. What we have is 2 sets of clues for each team. In a set of clues, 3 clues are available. After the first clue, it's worth 30 points. 30 points if you decide to answer and get it right. 30 points is deducted if you try to answer and get it wrong. But you don't have to answer there. You could take a second clue. That drops the points value down to 20. 20 if you get it right, 20 off if you get it wrong. No worries, a third and final clue is available. That drops the points value down to 10. 10 points if you get it right, 10 points is deducted if you get it wrong or fail to answer at that point. We do that 2 times, so we have 2 sets of those clues for you. Now, if you are able to answer both sets of clues at the 30-point value, we'll throw in an additional 25 bonus points. So that means you have the ability to gain 85 points in this round, but still the ability to lose 60 points in this round. So it will take some strategy to get through this. Up first is our team from Avella High School. And Avella, here's your first set of clues, starting with the clue at the 30-point value. According to legend, Napoleon's soldiers shot the nose off of this statue, which depicts a mythical creature reclining. Would you like to answer for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
Second clue. We'll take the second clue.
For 20 points, it's a limestone statue measuring some 240 feet long and 66 feet high and is one of Egypt's most famous landmarks. Would you like to answer for 20 or take a third clue for 10?
We'll say it's the Sphinx.
The Sphinx is correct. You just added 20 points to your score. Up next is your second set of clues, starting with the 30-point value clue. In this ocean, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are home to an uncontacted tribe, the North Sentinelese. Would you like to answer for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
Indian Ocean.
That is correct. So you got 20 on the first one, 30 on the second one, and that finishes the day with 445 for you, Avella High School. Very nicely done today. Up next is our team from Bentworth High School. And Bentworth, here is your first clue, starting with the clue at the 30-point value. The group Black September carried out a terrorist attack during one of these events in Munich in 1972. What is that event for 30 points, or would you like to take a second clue for 20 points?
Clue.
The next clue for 20 points. The sprinters, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, gave the Black Power salute at one of these events in 1968 in Mexico City. Would you like to tell us what these events are for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
Olympics.
Olympics is correct. You just added 20 points to your score. And now to your second set of clues. This one for 30 points. This author of All My Sons wrote a play in which Willie Loman kills himself in order to get life insurance payout for his family. Would you like to tell us who this author is for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
Clue.
The second clue. This author is recognized as one of the most important figures in 20th century American theater and married Marilyn Monroe in 1956. Would you like to tell us who this author is for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
Much like Colonel Mustard, we're going to take another clue.
Love that. The third clue for 10 points. What author of Death of a Salesman wrote about Tituba being convicted of witchcraft in the Crucible? Now, who you got?
Off the top of my head, just first thought that comes to mind, John Mavis.
John Mavis? That's a great guess, but we were looking for Arthur Miller on that one. You netted 10 points after the more or less round, and that takes your score for the day up to 215 points. And Bentworth, it was wonderful having you on the show this season. Finally up, we have our team from Butler High School. And Butler, here is your first more or less clue at the 30-point value. This is a compound that helps synthesize these macromolecules and has 3 hairpin loops, and their final structure is determined by interactions with chaperonins. Would you like to tell us what this compound is for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
We'll try to tell you for 20.
All right, for 20 points. These compounds attain their tertiary structure in a process called folding. Would you like to answer for 20 or take a third clue for 10?
We'll take a third clue.
The third and final clue. What polymers are synthesized during translation and made up of amino acids?
Proteins.
Proteins is correct. Very nicely done. You just added 10 points to your score. And your final set of clues, this one for 30 points. Traveled to Holcomb, Kansas to help Truman Capote research the novel In Cold Blood. Would you like to tell us who this woman was for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
We'll take a second clue.
For 20 points. This author wrote the novel in which Calpurnia works for a man who defends Tom Robinson. Would you like to answer for 20 or take a third clue for 10?
Harper Lee.
Harper Lee is correct. I could see those wheels really starting to turn there. That means you got 10 on the first one, 20 on the second one. That nets you 30 points. That finishes the day with 365. It was great having you here, Butler, today as well. But with 445 points, Avella is this week's winner. We will see you later on this season in the playoffs. As for Bentworth, as for Butler, it was great having you here today. Good luck with the rest of the school year, and we will see you next time as we have another great matchup scheduled right here on Katie Quiz, brought to you by GBU Life.